Hey guys, it's Kali Yuga back again with another quick start video. Today we are going to be talking about our new Inpainting and Outpainting tool. So basically what this allows you to do is build on the initial image tool that we discussed in video 4. You'll upload one of your own images, and using this suite of tools up here you can selectively erase backgrounds or blurs or blemishes or anything that you want, and then input a prompt down here to iterate on your input image in an even more powerful way than we did last time. So first things first, let's upload an initial image, and I'm going to use my profile picture like I did last time. Alright, so there's my profile picture. So you can see up here you've got a few different options. You've got a brush size slider. It goes from 1 pixel to 500 pixels. Brush blur, so this is going to be how much of a blur there is on the edge of your circle, so you can see that part of the circle is blurred. That allows you to do some feathering, but if you want a hard edge, just turn it all the way down to 0, and there you go. And if you want super blur, there's that. So brush strength is over here. It starts out at 100% automatically. Turn it down for less of a strong brush, so you can see that everything else being the same is a much more subtle erasure, which is sometimes nice. And this over here is the undo button. So I'm going to undo everything I've already done. And then we'll talk about image opacity, which is this slider here. And this controls the global opacity of your image, again, from 0 to 100%. And what you can do with this is if you like your image, but you want to reimagine it to a greater or lesser degree, this is going to do something similar, but not identical to what your image strength does in initial image mode. So this is great if you want to iterate on your input image without erasing anything. And some other important features of this new tool are over here. This is the repair tool. So if I do something like, oh no, I didn't want to do that, I can click on this. I can turn the brush strength all the way up and just quickly patch that up. I can also hit the undo button, which is this over here, and it'll get it back to how it was previously. Another important tool is this one here, and this allows you to scale your initial image. I can just click and drag just like you would in any sort of software, just like that. And another way to change the size of your image is to go over to the width and the height, and let's say I want it to be wider. I can do that, and this will add canvas to this image, which means you can extend the size of your image off what would have been the edge of the canvas. It would allow me to add part of my head back on top. So actually, let's do that. Let's do that. Click this, drag down, and now I should be able to add the top of my skull back on. So now that we've touched on all the tools, I'm going to erase the background and see what happens when we hit Dream. So there you go. You can see on most of them it did in fact add onto the top of my head. It's done a really good job keeping things sort of similar to the initial image, and also very much matching the prompt. I mean, all things considered, it's done a really, really good job working with what I gave it. So I've just gone back to the image editor because I want to show you what happens when we mess with image opacity. So you saw in the last batch of images, it did a really good job just keeping this part of the image identical while filling in the blanks based on my input prompt. When we mess with image opacity, let's turn it to 75. That's close enough to 75. When we mess with image opacity, it gives the model a lot more latitude about how it fills in, how it'll basically re-render this in a style more similar to this input prompt, similar to what we saw in video 4 with initial images, just with the background also cut out. So let's just hit Dream and see what happens. So you can see at just 50 steps, it is definitely basing the content of this on the initial image without being anywhere near as identical to the initial image as was the first batch of images we saw. So let's try turning up the steps to 100 and roughly 100 and running it again. And there you go. Even more high quality, again, really cool, really clearly based on the initial image, but something entirely new, each of these. And just to have a little bit of fun, I am going to do this. There you have it. There's a really simple edit I made to my initial image that created this really, really, really cool piece of art, and I am just going to boost that all the way up because I love that and call that a job well done. And that is going to do it for this time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and be sure to check back soon because I will be posting more videos regularly.